From Interior Alaska's most trusted news source, this is the Fairbanks Evening News.
Good evening and thank you for joining us. Our top story, city police and fire officials say one of the people that died in the apartment fire on Garrity Street last week was a 50-year-old woman.
She was identified as Jane Connolly of Fairbanks. According to city police, she was a resident of the apartment complex. The name of the other victim, also a woman, has not yet been released. Now, the cause of the fire is still under investigation.
And fire officials have finished sorting through the rubble of the Garrity Street fire, and they have confirmed that nobody else was killed in the blaze. Assistant Fire Chief Ernie Messerwitz says there will be more interviews in the coming days, and he hopes to know the official cause within 2 weeks. The blaze left nearly 50 residents homeless. The building was large, containing 18 apartment units, which created a lengthy search for firefighters. The city can now begin working with the owners to clean up the remains of the building.
Alaska State Troopers are searching for a man who was reportedly found in a Fairbanks residence intoxicated and with a firearm. According to Trooper spokeswoman Megan Peters, the call came in from a third party at around 8:45 a.m. The call stated a Fairbanks woman came home to find the male suspect in her home on Spudwood Road. Upon her arrival, he left the residence on foot, and a vehicle was found at the residence not belonging to the owners of the home. The suspect is described as a white male with short blonde hair and is wearing black Carhartts. Troopers searched for the suspect by both ground and air today. Anyone in the area of Steel Creek Road is asked to notify troopers if you see anyone matching the male's description at 451-5100.
Essentially, at this point, the active search for the individual has been suspended. Troopers are no longer scanning through the neighborhood trying to locate the man. We do believe we have found an identity for him and we'll be trying to still contact him for our investigation. It doesn't appear that the woman was threatened or anything like that, and the man did leave. There is a concern, though, because it was reported to us that he appeared to be intoxicated and he also had a firearm. So we certainly did want to get out to the area and see if we can locate the man to see if maybe he needed help, and also to just make sure that everything was safe in the neighborhood.
During the air search today, Alaska State Troopers used Helo 2, which will now be stationed in Fairbanks. Now, this was the first time that helicopter has been utilized in the area.
As the Arctic becomes more accessible, the state is working on policies for development. The Arctic Policy Commission today released a draft report with its latest findings. Countries like Canada and Russia are staking claims in the Arctic, and the U.S. government is working to make sure it has its boundaries defined. Being an Arctic state, Alaska has to do the same and is working with the federal government on such topics as melting sea ice, offshore oil development, and international shipping. Alaska's State Senator Liesl McGuire is co-chair of the commission.
The Arctic is a place unlike any other place on the Earth, and one that we still don't know a whole lot about. That it is home to thousands of years of Arctic people, indigenous people, and a culture that is worth preserving and very, very sensitive.
A Fairbanks man was rescued by helicopter after flipping his snow machine in the Hoodoo Mountains yesterday. 32-year-old Tyrell Johnson flipped his snow machine while riding up the mountain near Summit Lake and severely injured his leg, leaving him trapped. Due to the remote location and terrain, Alaska State Troopers coordinated with the Rescue Coordination Center as well as Elmendorf Air Force Base to perform a rescue via helicopter. Johnson was rescued by the HH-60 Pavehawk helicopter and taken to Providence Medical Center, where he received treatment for his injuries.
The United States Postal Service has increased shipping rates nationwide. This increase to bypass mail sent to rural communities by air carriers will increase the cost of shipping items to many of Alaska's remote villages. Now, the increase of 6.75% to bypass mail and eliminating of parcel post will have the greatest effect on the customers. Standard post will now be used and could cost much more depending on the pounds placed in the packages. Senator Mark Begich sent the United States Postmaster General a letter expressing his anger over the lack of notice before the changes were implemented. Senator Murkowski also commented on the increase, stating that it's important for the USPS to, quote, ensure Alaskans continue to have access to both efficient and affordable mail service.
All right, when we come back, U.S. Army Alaska has released the identity of the soldier who died after a training jump.
Also, 2 Wasilla residents are in jail after reportedly burglarizing a North Pole residence. Those stories are next. Stay with us.
And welcome back to the Fairbanks Evening News. U.S. Army Alaska has released the identity of the soldier who died after a training jump. 34-year-old Sergeant Jose Maria Pasillas of Fort Worth, Texas, was assigned to the 23rd Engineer Company based out of Joint Base Elmendorf-Richardson. Pasillas suddenly collapsed after the training jump on Thursday and was transported to Providence, Alaska Medical Center in Anchorage for emergency surgery for a torn aorta. Officials say there was no indication the soldier had a hard landing or equipment failure during the jump. An investigation into his death is still ongoing.
It's the first full week of the month and active time for local artists, but you may want to mark your calendar for a unique First Friday opening. News Center 11's Tyson Paris Hansen got a sneak peek with the organizers at the Chief Andrew Isaac Health Center.
Serving clients for a little more than a year at the new facility, the Tanana Chiefs Conference will host a First Friday art opening to share the success with the entire community.
This gives us a great opportunity to invite in our community members, show off our facility, let them look at some real nice traditional artwork that's placed throughout the building, and also give our staff an opportunity to share their artwork.
This First Friday showing will feature art from the caregivers at the health center.
And it feels kind of like everybody's crawling out of the woodwork, you know. This one makes, sews, and this one plays music, and this one makes beaded jewelry, and it's just really neat to see.
10 different staff will feature their art, along with permanent art installations, and of course, food and music.
I look forward to the event. I think it's going to be really special, and it's going to be fun, and I invite everybody to come out and check it out.
It all starts this Friday at 5 p.m. at the Chief Andrew Isaac Health Center on Lathrop Street. Tyson Paris Hansen, News Center 11.
2 Wasilla residents are in jail after reportedly burglarizing a North Pole residence. According to Alaska State Troopers, Saturday evening, 18-year-old Callie Koch and 30-year-old Michael Orazio kicked in the back door to a family member's house and stole multiple items from the dwelling. Orazio, who drove Koch to the family member's home, did not have a valid license. The 2 were arrested on scene. Koch was charged with burglary in the 1st degree, criminal mischief, and theft in the 3rd degree. Orazio was charged with driving with a suspended license. Both were arraigned in Fairbanks District Court yesterday.
Well, it's time once again to spotlight an agency within the United Way of the Tanana Valley. Tonight, News Center 11's Mike Schultz focuses on the Fairbanks Resource Agency.
The Fairbanks Resource Agency, or FRA, has been around for 46 years. It is a community-based, not-for-profit organization dedicated to providing support and services for individuals with disability and their family or caregiver. Emily Innes is the executive director for FRA and says the United Way has a tremendous impact on their agency.
It's been a tremendous impact. United Way has provided so many opportunities for us to develop new programs, to support programs that perhaps aren't fully funded, and to test drive pilot projects to see if they work. And today we have the Adult Day Center, we have in-home respite care, in-home chore services. We provide care coordination, which helps seniors connect with all those needed services. We have a National Family Caregiver Program that helps the caregivers of seniors who are staying at home. And we have a SOAR program that works with businesses around town, helping them identify seniors who may need some extra support.
During her time with FRA, what has been the most fulfilling and rewarding moment she has experienced?
I definitely believe it's providing the opportunity for adults who have significant disabilities to have a full life in our community. And I think most of all to contribute back to the community. Not only are they participating fully as a citizen, but in many cases they are volunteering, and I will say over 100 individuals with disabilities are on FRA's payroll, and the majority of them contribute to United Way each and every year.
The United Way annual fundraiser is nearing its end, but you can still donate to your favorite agency. And remember, all donations stay within the community. Mike Schultz, News Center 11.
All right, Daryl, so how about that Super Bowl?
Well, the less said about it, the better. I mean, I was expecting the best team to win, but not by a blowout, that's for sure.
I actually watched it, and yeah, even I was surprised. And everybody knows I don't know anything about sports.
But somebody who does, Joe Cook.
Yep.
He's up next with sports, and he has a loaded weekend recap, so stay tuned.
Welcome back, Interior Sports fans. It's weekend recap time. The Nanack hockey team got the all-important sweep on Saturday night, winning 6-1 over Alabama Huntsville. The same score as Friday as Jared Linnell connects with Nolan Youngman to start the scoring in the first period. Youngman had a goal and assist in this one. Cody Koenig added one of his 2 goals off of a redirect in the second period for the Nooks. He finished with 3 points on the night. UAF finished this game off strong with a 3-goal third. The Nanas got a season-high 49 shots on goal. Sean Cahill made 14 saves, allowing just 2 goals in the series. UAF is now tied for 5th in the WCHA with 20 points after their first ever conference sweep. They go into a bye week with lots of momentum.
The most important thing is getting all 20 guys going, and that's one thing we had this weekend. We had everyone going and playing good hockey. That's what we need to have going forward.
Every game is going to get bigger now because every game is a 4-point game with how tight our league is, and we know that. So we're excited to move forward, but just glad to have that sweep out of the way.
The Yukon Quest race is on. Mushers left downtown Fairbanks on Saturday, and now they're making their way on the trail. Normand Casavant drew bib number 1, but instead of being the first to possibly finish first, he was one of the first to scratch. Casavant scratched yesterday, deciding for the well-being of his dogs at the central checkpoint. Denise Brenton was the first to scratch on Sunday at mile 101 for personal reasons. 16 mushers are now left. Race veterans Jerry Joinson and Hugh Neff were at the Two Rivers checkpoint and talked about some of the upcoming obstacles and how their dogs were anxious to race.
Well, we're trying to slow them down. You can only slow them down so far, otherwise they're just going to be hammering at the harness all the time and just slow them down the best you can.
2 little bumps coming up called Rosebud and Eagle Summit, so they're definitely on everybody's mind for weeks before this race starts. But besides that, Rosebud, it's the uphill part you're worried about, and Eagle, it's the downhill part. So it's going to be fun, but luckily we're fresh and as mushers, so it's not like we're going to be falling asleep going over a 4,000-foot mountain.
And Brent Sass, the current leader, said it was the best conditions he saw at the Eagle Summit Pass. And here are the current Yukon Quest standings as of airtime. Hugh Neff is second, followed by defending champ Alan Moore, Cody Straith, David Dalton, and John Schaldenmeyer. And now the Ice Dogs held off the Ice Rays in Game 2 for a series split on Saturday. Fairbanks put up 48 shots in their 5-4 shootout win over Corpus Christi, trailing 4-1. Corpus Christi scored 3 goals in the last 7 minutes of regulation. In the shootout, Jacob Hetz and Taylor Munson scored on the first and third attempts, while Patrick Munson, he shut out the Ice Rays in the shootout to secure the win. The Ice Dogs return home this week for a 3-game series with the Wenatchee Wild starting on Thursday night. And on Saturday at Lathrop, North Pole won back-to-back MAC tournament wrestling titles. The Patriots will send 20 wrestlers to the state tournament this weekend at Bartlett High. One of those will be Gino Velarde, winning the 126-pound title by pin in 53 seconds over West Valley's Genesis Blatchford. Lathrop's Andrew Hendricks will be going to state after his win by fall in 3 minutes and 14 seconds over North Pole's James Bartley for the 120-pound MAC title. Duke Rogers won the 132-pound title as well for the Patriots. North Pole will be sending a large contingent of wrestlers to the 4A state tournament. Only 3 of their wrestlers did not qualify. The Patriots earned 322 points, followed by Lathrop and West Valley. Among North Pole's 7 MAC champions, Peyton Music won consecutive titles in the 113-pound class. Lathrop won 6 MAC titles. Joe Dickinson won the 160-pound title, but was also named Tournament Most Valuable Wrestler for Lathrop. West Valley's Brett Ferris was the 195-pound titleist. The top 3 in each weight class qualify for state. The Wolfpack will send 8, and Lathrop will send 13 to the 4A state tournament this weekend. And to end the Sportscast, here's the new I-5, the Interior Top 5 Plays. At number 5, UAF freshman Victoria Milton with the steal and the incredible and-one layup in Thursday night's 86-81 loss to Northwest Nazarene. At number 4, Hutchinson's Elijah Barrios. He gets a goal from near the blue line, and Hutchinson's loss to Houston in the Great Lakes Conference title game on Saturday. Barrios had 2 goals. At number 3, Daniel Hornbuckle's 3 at the buzzer at the end of the first half against North Pole, and their 67-42 win over the Patriots. Then at number 2, Cody Kunick's 5-point weekend against the Chargers. With those 5 points, Kunick moved up to 17th on the all-time Nanick scoring list. And at number 1, Jason Donald of North Pole with his overtime game winner against Lathrop. It's the first time the Patriots defeated the Malamutes in 4 years. To pick the play of the week, comment on the K2VF Facebook and Twitter pages. Email Joe Cook at K2VF11.com for your pick as well. The play of the week will be revealed this Friday.
The I-5 Sports Report is brought to you by Adient Orthopedic Physical Therapy.
And that'll do it for sports tonight. Mike Schultz is next with your full weather forecast, and we'll catch you next time.
Welcome back into the Fairbanks Evening News, everyone. Time to take a look at the weather. Mike Schultz with you once again. And, you know, they just finished January, and believe it or not, how warm it was. You would have thought it was a record breaker. It was the 7th warmest January on record, and obviously the temperatures are going to cool down. In fact, we're looking at much cooler temperatures dropping below normal by this weekend. We'll tell you more about that. Our photograph night, a panorama from the University of Alaska Fairbanks up there on the hill there. You can see all the way across from the airport right on down to the city. And again, John Wingfield took that photograph for us. Again, thank you, John, for that submission. If you have a photograph, by all means, send it to photos at KTVF11.com. What's going on at the airport right now? 3 degrees after a high of 19. The overnight low last night, 8 below. There's your record high and record low. Sunrise, 9:27 this morning. Sunset at 4:46 this afternoon, giving us 7 hours and 19 minutes of daylight, a gain of 7 minutes from yesterday. What's going on across the rest of the state? We have some clouds over southeast Alaska, some showers falling around the Kodiak Island area, fog up in the north slope, and just partly cloudy to cloudy skies elsewhere. On our satellite and radar, you can see a little bit of cloudiness marching toward the Fairbanks area, but again, the Alaska Range right here blocking most of that off, so we're just looking at the high clouds moving off to the west of the Fairbanks area. Lower 48 weather tonight. Things are fairly quiet for the most part. Little rain falling across the deep south, across the New Orleans area. Also just partly cloudy skies over the northeast, and our satellite and radar show you the moisture moving across the deep south. A little bit of snow scattered across the Rockies. Nothing really heavy expected there. Here's what your snowfall looks like tonight. The heaviest snowfall will be right around Kansas City to Indianapolis, and it's all being brought in for the jet stream. Again, you can see the jet stream working its way from the west to the east, helping to transport all that snow, and maybe another storm developing across the Rockies. Well, back to Alaska for tomorrow. Here's what it looks like. Northern sections foggy at Barrow, snow and Nome, and sunshine for Fort Yukon. Here in the interior, we'll see lots of sunshine all the way from Fairbanks down to Delta Junction, including Healy and southeast sections. Sunny skies expected there also. Over to the southwest, it looks like for the most part snow in Bethel, scattered rain for Cold Bay and Kodiak Island. And over the south central regions, we're looking at the sunshine in Valdez, scattered clouds for Anchorage and Homer. Okay, it's a new week. Time once again for our kids' weather, and this week we're talking with the kids from Nordale Elementary School. Here's a young man with a story for you.
Hello, my name is Harrison. I am in Mrs. Torgerson 4th, 5th class at Nordale Elementary. I'm going to tell a weather story today. It happened 5.5 years ago in Valdez. It rained a lot. Our tent got soaked. We had to sleep in wet sleeping bags. That's my weather story.
Short and to the point. Tomorrow night we'll have a young lady here to share a picture. Here's your forecast for the remainder of the night. And again, we're looking at 11 degrees below zero, clear skies and colder temperatures. Tomorrow's forecast, another nice sunny day, 10 degrees for the high. And the extended forecast, temperatures starting to fall a little bit. As you can see by Saturday and Sunday, looking at daytime highs right around 5 below to 10 above. Overnight lows also dropping down to near 20 degrees below zero by the weekend. Maybe a chance of some light snow on Thursday, but nothing really heavy expected. But it is showing that the pattern is changing. So they had their Groundhog Day down the lower 48 and looking for 6 more weeks of winter. Maybe it's transitioning up here. I don't know.
It feels like it's already springtime. I mean, the way the weather's been going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. In Delta, they have no snow on the ground.
Amazing.
Can you believe that?
Well, we should have some viewers send us some photos. So if you're in Delta, send us some pictures of that because that's amazing.
Healy the same way too.
Wow.
Yeah, wow. Interesting weather this year.
Yep.
Okay. That'll wrap up this edition of the Fairbanks Evening News. We are glad you could join us.
NBC Nightly News with Brian Williams is coming up next.
You can join us here 6 days a week at 6 and 11 or online anytime at webcenter11.com.
That will do it from all of us here at the News Center. Have a good night. We hope to see you back here at 11.